Here's what I think makes it incredibly rare, and I think why the collaboration works so well with you and why Bob and Alex and I and JJ work so well together is that fundamentally the idea of working in collaboration is wonderful, but there can only be one vision. When there's 3 or 4 separate visions and they're at odds with each other, it's hard to know what to do. And I remember on Cowboys, you know, this was one of the things that we were facing as we came in, was basically like, whose vision is this movie? Because this was pre-you. And so you had the very definition of 800-pound gorillas with Ron and Steven, and who had a huge appreciation for each other, but I had been told at that time, had never been in a meeting at the simultaneously to talk about this thing. So we would go over to DreamWorks and be in a room with Steven, and we would talk more about, as a huge fan of the Western, yes, but we talked more about the sci-fi angle of the movie in terms of what did the aliens look like, what did the aliens want, how were the aliens interacting with the people, and then we'd go, and then Ron was basically shooting the sequel to the Da Vinci Code,
Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons. We'd go down to set, and then we'd talk to Ron, and all Ron was like, we didn't even want to acknowledge that there were aliens in the movie. It was all like, these are the Western elements and all that. And it was like,
so great.
We've just got to get these. We've got to get the chocolate and the peanut butter at the same room together, because until you came in, it was really getting them narrowed. And we went down to the Tintin set. We watched Steven basically directing Tintin, and then we all had lunch together. And finally, Steven and Ron started talking to each other, and that was the moment where like, we can now write the draft. There is vision. And then when you came in, you got to be like, what does this guy want? Let me write for him.
Here's what was also cool about this arrangement for me. With this particular group of people, everybody's had a turn. Everybody knows what it's like to be the captain, and everybody, I find those people are best at saying, how can I best be of service here? Because it's not as much, oddly, it's not as much of an ego thing. I felt that there was a lot of, what could we do? We want to hear what you have to say. We want to hear a point of view that we could all follow, and then we'll argue about it. It wasn't like everybody was in lockstep. But even Steven, when he came into the editing room, was like, hey, here are some ideas. Take whatever you want, don't take whatever you want. But hear me out, which created an incredibly good energy.